Hey there, welcome back to Red Alt Key, your go-to channel for all things tech. Today we have an exciting topic on the agenda, Docker. In this video, we'll guide you through the installation of Tandoor, an online recipe collection on the Docker platform. Let's get started with the installation process. To install Tandoor, we will go to the Tandoor website and we'll click on Get Started. We'll scroll a bit further to the self-host section and click on Install Instructions. Duplicate tabs. This is where it takes us. We'll scroll because we need the docker-compose section instead, which is down here. I'm going to copy this text. It's amazing how Docker works because this text tells Docker what we need and then Docker creates it or builds it. I'll show you. I've already created a folder called Docker here. So in it, I'll create another one called Tandoor. And then I'll cd into Tandoor. Then I'll create a file called docker-compose.yml, which is spelled YML. The YAML part, I mean. So nano is the text editor. Nano space docker-compose .yaml. Press enter. I'll paste that text in there. So here it is. Nicely color coded so you can see the tags and the values. It's more of like a dictionary. Key and value pairs. The key in this case being restart, the value being always. We will save this and close it. We need another file, so we'll go back to the website and scroll up. This link here is the .env file. So any file in Linux whose name starts with a dot becomes hidden. I'll show you once I've downloaded it. So this is where we download it from. The wget command is a Linux command for downloading a web resource. So right click, copy, or Command C, and then we'll go back to the terminal and paste that in there. Press enter. It's done. So if I type in ls, it should show me the contents of this Tandoor folder. Enter. But we can only see one file, which is the docker-compose file. So in order to see the contents of this folder, that is the non-hidden file plus the hidden file, we will type in ll, which is that, and here's the docker-compose file, and here's the hidden.env file. We've already pasted the contents of the docker-compose file. However, we need to update the .env. So we'll edit the .env with nano. Enter. There are some values we need to add here. Scroll. We need a secret key, and they have given us the command to generate a super long secret key. We'll exit out of nano and paste that command. And there is our key here. copy, then arrow up to our previous nano command and enter. And then we'll go back down to secret key and paste it. Okay, what else do they need? Of course, you can set your time zone there. And then scroll. They need a password for the database. So we'll generate something very complicated. Let's scroll. If you're familiar with Python, you'll notice that this config file looks more like Django, because it is. Tandoor is built on Django. Okay, looks like we're done with this, so we'll close it and save it. Actually, save it and close it. Yeah, save first, then close. We're done. Please note that everything we're doing to this state is real time. I'm not speeding up the video, just to show you how quickly it is to set up a Tandoor server in Docker. The next step is to launch Tandoor, and we use the docker-compose command. Docker-compose up -d. I'll rerun this command without the -d so you can see what -d does, but in short, it runs the Tandoor app as a daemon, meaning that it runs it in the background. And once we initiate Tandoor and restart the server, when the server comes back up, it will automatically start Tandoor again. So I'll hit enter here. Docker has downloaded the Tandoor database, which is Postgres. It has downloaded the Tandoor app, which is Django or Python, and then it has downloaded the image for Nginx, which is the web server, and then started them. So we'll type docker ps to see what it has installed. Let me expand this. It'll likely make the text smaller, but you'll be able to see what it has done. So these are the container IDs of the 3 containers that have been built. These are the images that were downloaded to build these containers. And these are commands that are run inside the containers once the containers are built. And created 43 seconds ago. That's how quick this spins up. If you look at the timestamps up here, 0.4 seconds, 0.1, 0.1 to do these individual steps. And then here are the ports that are open. The Nginx container is on port 80. The Tandoor container is on port 8080, and Postgres is on the 5432 port. And then these are the names on the extreme right hand side that have been assigned to these containers. So this part is done. I'll just make the text larger again, maybe that, and we'll go back to the web browser. So the IP address here is 10.039. This is the IP address of the Ubuntu server where I've installed Tandoor. 10.039, 10.039, and there it is. Tandoor is running on the server. Let us create an account. Or admin or password. Repeat the password. Click on create super user account and then log into the account. there it is. It takes us to a space. Recipes, foods, shopping lists, and more are organized in spaces of one or more people. You can either be invited into an existing space or create your own space. So, join an existing space or create your own recipe space. So, it has already suggested a name. I like that. I'll click on create space. There it is. So, we have successfully installed Tandoor. Let's add a recipe. So find a recipe here. Let's say this one. The recipes, of course, have to have a picture, ingredients, and steps or directions. So all we do is copy the link to the page, copy, then come back to Tandoor and click on import and paste the link. These are the images that is found on that page. So we will choose the image we want to tie to this page or this recipe. I'll keep the first one because that's the one that caught my attention on the original website. And you can add some keywords here. And you have an opportunity to add more later on. So I'll scroll down and here are the steps and ingredients and quantities. However, what I think works best is here on the right, separate each step. So I'll press enter after the first step and then press enter to separate those two and those two, and there. You get the drill, right? So keep going with that. 2 spaces there. Twice, enter, enter, enter twice, and we're done. Then we scroll to the bottom of the page and click on import. Okay, so we're going to import and edit. So it will import the recipe, then take us to a page where we can make further changes. So click on import and edit. Recipe imported. It has gathered preparation time, waiting time, number of servings. And I want to add one more. Mushrooms. Keyword. And then it. Click on save. Successfully updated. And then we'll click on the recipes link. There it is. Let me add one more. Copy. This time we can only add it by clicking on the plus and then clicking on import recipe and then paste. I actually like this image this time, and scroll inner world, and then we'll separate these steps. Scroll, import. This time I'm going to import and view. There it is. It even includes the source where we imported it from. There you have it. We've successfully installed Tandoor in Docker, which is running on an Ubuntu Linux server. When I installed Tandoor the first time, I had a the first time I installed Tandoor, there was a -d tag to the end of the docker-compose command. It was like this: docker-compose app -d, which means docker-compose, run that installation script and run it as a daemon, or run it in the background or as a service. Let me show you what will happen if we didn't include the -d. However, let's first shut down Tandoor. Okay, successfully shut down. And this time we'll just run it as app. Instead of app -d, we'll remove the -d, enter. Notice that there's more detail. You see the services or the containers starting up. You can see the data being transferred between containers or services. In green at the bottom there, that's the Tandoor app. It's ready to go at port 8080. Right above it is the Nginx, which is the web server. It's also ready to go at port 80. Let's go back to the web browser. Hit refresh. There it is. It's now running. So if you watch the terminal here, every time I access the app in the web browser, like this, you see the logs. It's keeping track of all the logs. Now back to the terminal. The reason why it's useful to run it as a daemon with the -d switch at the end is because if we don't, Tandoor will only run if this window is open. So if we were to restart the server, Tandoor will not reload. And also, if I was to clear this screen like this, Tandoor stops or shuts down. Thank you for visiting Red Out Key. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care. Bye.